Hey there fellow collectors, Titans Tears 23 here, and today is a bit of a new video for this channel. I'm going to be talking about different sports card investments you can make in certain football players, specifically more of gamble players, players that are on the cheaper end that can have big returns depending on how their career goes. So nothing like Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes where you can invest in them and their value will probably go up, but it will be expensive. And so it's going to be 10 different players that are kind of gamble picks to invest in. And I'll also start off with a little bit of an extra bonus first and just talk about Russell Wilson. I think his cards are a little cheap right now. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and I think that his cards are really going to skyrocket in the future. The Seahawks are a great team, and they should be in competition for a Super Bowl down the road. And I think Russell Wilson, he's a great leader. People love him, so I think his card should really shoot up, but he's a bit more expensive, so you'd have to put some money into him to get his cards. But for 10 cheaper players, starting it off, we have Winston here. He's in a great position with the Saints. Drew Brees, he's going to be leaving after this year, most likely retiring, and you never know, he could get injured as well this year. He's getting on the older end, so more injury prone. He struggled with injury last year. And so if Jameis were to take over this year or next year, which is potential for the Saints, depending just how he does in the backup role in practice and stuff, he could take over and be on a really good team there with a great head coach and really excel there. He's working hard, working on his consistency, and I think he'll improve on that, limit the interceptions and the bad decisions. And he's got a lot of talent, so I think he could really take off with the Saints. If Drew Brees got injured, he could just be put in a position where he's already gifted being into the playoffs, and that would boost the value of his cards, especially if they made a run there with Jameis. So I really think he'd be a fun investment to make. He's pretty cheap. His base prisms are like $10 right now. That's really cheap for a quarterback that has potential to start in the future for a great team, so look to invest in him. Number 2, we have a current starter, Josh Allen. I'm kind of surprised by his cards right now. They're a little on the cheaper end. The Bills are looking like the favorite in their division, and I think they kind of got snubbed in the playoffs last year, just kind of choked it away, but they were looking like they had potential to, make a run, give the Chiefs a challenge, or the Ravens, whoever they would have played, I don't remember. But they've got a great defense, so that'll help Josh Allen, and he's got Stephon Diggs there now, so he's kind of set, and he's a playmaker, and he's proven he's got a lot of talent. So I think especially this season, his card should pretty much no matter what, unless the Bills just totally fluke this year and can't win games, his cards really should jump up there. Number 3, we have a 2016 rookie, Jared Goff, and I think, last year, not a great season overall. He had some good games, but not near the season he had before that. I think this year is going to be more of a replica of the 2018 season. I think that he's really going to show his ability again. He's got a lot of offensive weapons. He's got Sean McVay coaching him, so I think the Rams will get back to their form. They're in a tough division, but I think he should have a good season, and I think his cards will continue to climb. So I think he'd be a good investment. And then we got Sam Darnold here. I think he's a great investment just because, he had the mono, so that kind of stalled his career, but he's back, he's healthy, and yes, he's on the Jets, but I think he's a great quarterback, and especially if he were to end up, leaving the Jets, if they weren't doing too hot, I think he'd end up a starter on another team, maybe a better team where he just takes off, his career takes off. I think he's a good risk investment, It might not pan out, but got a good shot for it to skyrocket. So I'd invest in Sam Darnold as well. And then here's a bias pick, but we got Marcus Mariota. The Raiders, they just paid him almost starter money. They paid him a large amount of money for him just to be a backup to Derek Carr. So I don't expect that to happen. I expect Marcus to take over and at least get some plays in while Derek Carr is the starter, and then take over as the starter of the season. We'll see how that goes, how the Raiders are doing. But, I think just Las Vegas Raiders cards in general, man, they're gonna jump up. Everyone's gonna love the Raiders in Vegas. It's a prime spot for an NFL team. Just a great city for sports. So everyone's gonna love the Vegas players and want their cards. And I think Marcus, he might do well under Mayock and co. So I think he's got a good shot for his cards to skyrocket. And you can get his base prisms for as low as $5 I saw. So that's barely spending any money. And those could end up valuable, get those graded, get some PSA 10s. If he becomes a starter, it's a lot of value there. Moving on, we're going to go on to running backs and a little bit of information. Everyone says, you only want quarterbacks. Well, that's true when you're ripping packs, you want to get quarterbacks. That's who you want to open. That's going to give you the most value. But when you're investing in cards, you get to pick what card you buy at what price. You're buying it at the price it's worth. So I think it's cool to invest in running backs or receivers, stuff like that, because, it's a little riskier. They can get injured and then just fizzle out, but you can invest in cooler cards at the same price as like a base prism of a top quarterback. You can invest in an autographed card or something of a running back. And so you'll just have cooler cards in your collection as you're investing. I think that's a great opportunity with running backs and wide receivers that people overlook. So first up, we got Todd Gurley. I think he's in a good spot on the Falcons. I think he could, bring back his career. He's had some injury issues, so that's some concern. So this investment could potentially not pan out, but I think he's got a good shot. The Falcons, they haven't had that runner yet, like Devontae Freeman just didn't quite work for them. And I think Todd Gurley, he might just fit the system just right and really take off as a runner and turn them into a running team. So we'll see here. They'll need a lot of offensive firepower for their division. So hopefully Todd Gurley can provide that and really boost his value in the sports card market. And then second running back here, we got Melvin Gordon. He's in a great new offense on the Broncos, and I think they're going to utilize him as a workhorse. I think he's going to rack up a lot of yards this season. And then in the future, especially as the Broncos offense becomes older, they're going to get better. If Drew Lock turns out to be the right guy, that's going to be a great offense. And with their top running back, their workhorse running back, Phillip Lindsay, he's not quite the workhorse running back that teams want. Melvin Gordon is. So his card could really go up in value here. We'll see what season he has, but I think he'll turn things around. Last season, holding out and stuff, it kind of changed his career. I think his cards really dropped in value because of that. So I think there's a buy low potential here and a lot of value with Melvin Gordon. And then for one more running back, we've got just Josh Jacobs here. I actually haven't gotten any of his rookie cards yet since I just got back into it. I haven't opened up too much 2019, but I'll be hoping to pick up a couple here soon off eBay. I just think Jacobs, he got injured, but that's a risk you're always taking on any investment in football players. So if he stays healthy, he's looking really good. The Raiders are trying to make, a dynamic offense that can compete with the Chiefs. So it's going to be an investable offense. And all Raiders players, like I said, will just draw value. And I think he's going to be their star in the future. So just a great running back to invest in. And I think it'd be a lot of fun to invest in him and just watch him as you collect his cards. And then moving on to receivers. First up, we got Kenny Golladay. He had a great season last year, but I think this year with Matthew Stafford back, he'll really take it to the next level. If you can get some cool autograph cards of his, in the $50 range, maybe $100 range, I think that'd be very worth it. I think he's going to just pop off this season. Top 5 fantasy wide receiver possibly. I think him and Matthew Stafford, I think they'll probably have a great year, hoping Stafford stays healthy and I think he'll really take off. And then last receiver, we got Deante Johnson. I think that he's going to take over as the wide receiver one over Juju. Bold prediction, but I think it'd happen. I think he's got a lot of talent. Big Ben coming back this year. Same deal with Galladay. Make that connection. We'll see who Big Ben connects with, but I think that Deante Johnson is a good pick to just gamble on. Hope that Big Ben connects with him the most and he becomes that wide receiver one. So yeah, that's it for the guys I want to talk about on who you could invest in. I hope you found my advice useful, and I wish you the best of luck if you choose to use it. But thanks for tuning into this video, and I hope to bring you guys some awesome new videos soon. So like, comment, subscribe. Just let me know what you think, and thanks for tuning in.